Hey, everybody, how are you? Welcome to episode number 3, Voices of the Soul, with all of us, Miranda Malasani, Linda Doherty, and our manager and producer of this show, Paula. Whoop, oh my God, look what I'm doing already. So it's already going to start this eclipse, isn't it? I'm looking forward to tonight's show. We have some very interesting people who are going to sort of talk on the chat side. We have this solar eclipse in Libra, and I'm very afraid. But no. It can go either way, guys. Either way, that's how that balance is going to be. We all will go through something. It is all to do with relationships over the next little bit, and Miranda politely reminded me about what Pluto was doing for a little while longer too, which I was not too happy about because I
If
thought it was over with.
if someone could just not mention Pluto for the next, 16 years, because it's been in Capricorn for the last 16 years, almost
Yes,
done, November 20th. Actually, Jim, I think you reminded me last week that you have a little longer to go.
yes,
November 20th, right? It gets back into Aquarius for, I think, 19 years.
for 19 years. And it is all of us, it is the karmic punishment that we've gone through for all those cardinal signs. It's true.
It is true. I'm shaking my head because it's been
I
nasty.
am so much in trouble every time. I'm burning just talking about how all the shitty things I did to some people. So I got paid back for that one pretty good. You know,
Good times.
it is good times. Um,
And
like
that happens to be the topic of our show. Actually, we're going to talk about too after is karmic relationships and how
it
to
is,
understand them more in our lives.
which is going to be.
Apropos, yeah.
Apropos, yeah.
Um, did did anybody else have a karmic relationship? You, Miranda, you, Linda, did or that didn't happen?
Is that like is it a silly question, Jim? I
Well,
mean, like, Pluto's been in my house, my Capricorn house for the last 16 years. So yeah, quite a few different karmic relationships. Were they all karmic for over the last 16, 17 years? I would say most of them were because partnerships.
80%.
Yeah. And so I feel like I can speak to that for sure. I won't get into my own personal details, but a lot of learning, and we'll go through the different types of karmic relationships. But I think
Can you explain what it is, Miranda? What kind of
Oh,
so for
this is
somebody who
yours.
just never heard the term before?
yeah, so like a karmic relationship can come into different parts of our lives. It falls into like many different categories. And it really brings out different dynamics and challenges and lessons to offer. And that's maybe the light way of describing it because because it definitely doesn't feel light when you're going through it, but it can show up in family karma. And that's like sibling, parent, child, ancestral karma, romantic relationships with, of course, like, past life lovers, twin flames. And that's kind of, I don't know if we want to talk more about twin flames. I'm not really too sure about that.
Good. Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Even
God damn it.
professional. So, boss, employee, colleagues, mentor, student, even friendships, right? It can show up in any way. And it's there for teaching. And we don't always know what the lesson is until after the fact, right?
And that's the hurtful thing for all of us too, right? Because even we go through our own shit because we have no other choice because we're human still at the end of the day.
Right.
Our vibrations are a little higher, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to be suffering the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know?
So
exactly.
can I just go through some like eight?
Even
I
we
have
go through
8 signs of a karmic relationship. So I'm sure everyone else can relate that they've had one of these in their lifetime. So the first one is feeling an immediate, powerful connection to the other person, like a magnetism. Having a sense you've met before, or like it's so strong. Like I feel like sometimes people feel it's so strong. Patterns of ongoing conflict, noticing unresolved challenges from past relationships or childhood emerge, feeling a sense of obligation rather than a genuine connection, being on an emotional roller coaster. I always say that you got on a roller coaster from hell, you didn't get asked to get on.
And you can't get
Experiencing,
off. Yeah.
yeah, you can't get off, and you didn't ask to get on in the first place. But
Mhm.
experiencing intense attraction and repulsion for that person and emotional burnout. So those are some signs of a karmic bond or a karmic relationship.
And now we don't always, karmic relationships, we think that they're always bad, but they're not, right? Karmic relationships can be soulmate energy, and it doesn't necessarily mean, it could mean part of the relationship means you have to work out a certain element of it, and then there's peace. So I think we have to be really careful. You know, we can kind of tie in like narcissism with karmic relationships and toxicity. And I think we have to be really careful how we describe it. Narcissism can show up in those karmic relationships, or the empath narcissism or narcissist combination. But I think we have to be careful not to say like it's all bad. It's not. It's just there's lessons to be learned in that contract.
Because sometimes in a soul contract, you could have had made a deal with someone from your past life that we'll meet up again. And this is the life where we live our happiness out to the full extent of our capabilities. And that's a beautiful thing. So that's the kind of karmic, like I think all the romantics out there, they like that answer. But there's lots of good reasons for karmic relationships. Mother, son, children.
Yeah.
And I find that that's an important role for mothers, sons, where on the spiritual end of things, because we learn from our moms quite a bit, because our dads are the dads are our testosterone kind of personalities that we get, but our moms are the ones that teach us to open the door for someone, walk with them, take the street side. Those are all the things that I learned as a child from my mom in a karmic way, and it brought a lot of peace to me, and I felt better being around women because I had that. A lot of men don't get that either, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we always don't get nice mothers either.
No, we don't.
It's interesting. And, if you know your own natal chart, I think it's so important, just from having been interested in it in the last couple of years, when you understand it, or you have someone that can go through it with you, you realize that karma shows up in our natal chart. And if you have it in your fourth house of family, it is very clear the things that are brought through your whole life. And it's not easy, because that means your family are teaching you lessons throughout your entire life, and it can be very, very challenging. And we all have lessons to learn in family, but some are just harder than others, right?
And it's trauma too that goes with that, and it's always sort of that end of it. And any relationship that ends is trauma on all levels,
right?
And even though it could have been a bad karmic relationship, it wasn't at the beginning, but they created their own faults, their karma. They felt uncomfortable or uneasy, or thinking that they should be with someone when they've only been around them, and all of a sudden you're sitting at I don't know, you're sitting at McDonald's, for God's sakes. Yeah, I know, Miranda, but that's all I can think of so quickly, and I'm sitting there and I can meet someone, and all of a sudden, wow, it's like I met this woman before, and I want to go up and just say, my God, it's almost like I know you, kind of thing, and then we get the stalkerish thing, and then now everyone will think that we're crazy, but we used to do that back in the day.
And sometimes when you do have those connections, the other person feels exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like it's like this is like kismet, or it's meant to be, right? It feels that way.
Right. But I think sometimes people can come in to test you. Like, it may show up and it's like, well, let's test your loyalties to somebody else, or let's test how committed you are in a partnership. I think there's so many situations where just because there's that strong connection, it doesn't mean that it's the right way to go. And I think this is where we have to actually really slow down and listen to our intuition. But I'm following the chat here. I love the fact
watching. Holy cow, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Thank you all so much for all your hellos. Hello to everyone. And also, McKenna says, as a 30-year-old Capricorn, 90% of my relations have been karmic. I feel for you, like, truly. I don't even know what to expect with this change that has been my normal with the roller coaster from hell. I totally understand. And you know what? There's something really great to look forward to, because it's going to go in Aquarius, which means it's going to take the pressure off. And it means, I don't know where it's going to fit in your chart specifically, but I think you can probably soon take a breath. And that, I feel like I've been holding my breath for 16 years. Is that
easily? 16
easily.
Years. Like, that's
maybe more, maybe 4. Well, I'm not going to say my age, but
no, I would go for half of what your age is. So probably 10 years.
Jim. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, come on. And then Lori P says, my family sucks. And she had the laugh emoji. So, we understand that when you go through this type of karma, we can totally appreciate when you have those feelings, and it's good that you can laugh about it. And then Sarah Rush says, question, what if you were supposed to be born on a certain day and you weren't? Does it change your profile or your horoscope?
What an interesting question.
Great question. Jim, do you want to go at that?
Absolutely. Automatically it changes. It's your soul's purpose actually diverts and is starting to look for why we're doing this. You will question your youth quite a bit, I think, because that's what I did. I was supposed to be born in Scorpio. So I was way early. And that didn't happen. I ended up being this Libra. And so I think strongly that I could not meet my friendships, my wife, my child, all of these things if I was a Scorpio. I don't think it would have happened. And now I'm in Libra and everything is just beautiful that way for me, if that makes sense. So yes, you do change quite differently, but your paths will always be, you'll always question what you're doing, always.
Interesting.
That's what I got from that.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective. I would say like the divine timing of your birth here is, kind of connected to the cosmos. And so that is how we enter into this life. So it is like a snapshot in time. So for you to understand that, like I was supposed to be born on December 31st. I was born on December 21st. And it's hard to know what it would be like, but at the same time, like that snapshot is you as a person. So
it is.
So there's some great comments. I'll just continue and then maybe we can go into
sure
more of this clips too. But McKenna says, yes, exactly. Like holding my breath for change. Totally. Natalie says,
don't hold it any longer.
No,
it's okay.
Take a breath right now. For sure. It'll help. Natalie says, I've had that feeling with romantic partners and also friends that I've met. The feeling of knowing them from a past life. It's hard to explain the feeling. Yes.
It is hard to explain the feeling.
It is. Douglas says,
I've had Dougie. Shout out, Dougie.
I've had 3 great mentors that I consider karmic in nature. That's when the karmic in nature
is positive,
right?
Very positive.
Sarah says, then this questioning and everything. I was supposed to be January 21st. I came January 28th. My daughter, April 21st. She came May 2nd. And that changes everything. And it does. It really does.
But I think that's a better suited daughter-mother relationship because it's much more comforting. It was probably, I don't know how old she is, but as she will mature quicker because of that birth date, and she'll be able to read some of the signs where she has that apprehension to say something when she was younger, but now she'll start talking about everything and you can't shut her up. So that's kind of cool. I like that. That is.
And Oscar says to Douglas, me too. I had a mentor that felt karmic and helped me progress as a human and professional. I wouldn't be who I am without her. And of course, Jim Hunt is my second mentor, Oscar says.
Wow. Oscar, thank you. And I want to say, and everybody who's a fur baby, appreciating fur babies. Oscar lost Oscar at Sunday at noon.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And she had him for so long, and they were buddies. And I just, when you try and express these things, Oscar, I'm going to make light of this. Oscar's going to pee on every little lamppost on the way up to the light so that he knows how to find you when he comes back to look for you.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. It's all right.
No.
Karmic, what else?
So can I talk about, I have a person I'm working with right now, and she has the craziest karmic relationship. We'll call her Andrea. And she got married recently, and on her honeymoon, she met someone in a different country, and it was like they'd always known each other. I think they'd met once before, but
Okay.
it caused such a chaos because she wonders if she hasn't made a mistake in her life
Okay.
Wow.
with the marriage, because it's like this one, she can't get this person out of her mind, and it's all consuming every day. So it's interesting. So it's we're hoping that it doesn't destroy a marriage. Like it's, but it, what if you don't have the chance? Like it's like a come see, come sa. Like what if you don't have the chance? Like we would, is this something I'm always going to regret? Is what I'm wondering if she's thinking.
So I've got a ton of things to go with that as an
Okay.
intuitive, and it's scary
Yeah.
at times because this is when we get to be an actual um, private detective as an intuitive. And we're going to see things and say things to people that they're not going to like, because that has happened to me so often in some similar situations to this. The person, um, Andrea, that you are seeing is nothing other than a player,
That's
nothing
true.
other than someone who is looking for that attention, and to steal it from you is because of your beauty, your natural idea of living on the edge many years ago and now settling into something. It's very hard for you to think of a white picket fence, but that is what you should be doing because you can't
Yes.
do it any other way. You will lose, for me, you will lose all relationships before our own Canadian Thanksgiving. That's how close I can feel that.
I feel the same way.
I would say, and also that person that's the player, it's almost gets a charge from being able to extract, the devotion, like, if it's a long-term relationship, obviously, if they've gotten married, it feels like that person is like almost again, yeah, like it's getting the charge from being able to potentially destroy something, which is so sad. I would say that this is where that karmic situation comes in to test devotion, to test loyalty, to test you. And also, let's talk about like that avoidant anxious attachment sometimes where even like it could feel boring when someone's good for your nervous system. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right? It's totally, yeah.
Boring when, and then it's like, well, is this the right person? But boring is good with like consistency and security is a delicious thing in life. So,
But
you know,
once you don't have it, like it's on a risky, we're at a time, we have a small window. And if we don't remedy this situation or cut the other person, he lives on the other side of the world, then it's risky. It's so risky.
as Andrea, I would ask myself, why would I want to risk something so secure with the potential of a nothing? And it, like that's the inner feelings, that's the inner kind of, questioning, like, why do I need that pull? Or what is it about? It's really about our inside narrative a lot, right? The feelings that we deal with relationships.
This this long distance side guy, I just have to add to this because um, somebody by the name of Louise is giving me some information for Andrea, and she's saying that he directly says everything that she wants to hear by the tone of her voice,
Ah,
look in
interesting.
her eye.
Oh, wow.
He knows exactly how to play that. That's why he's never had to work a day in his life and be self-employed by other people's monies.
But
I'm
he's like a dark
so,
empath. He's like a dark empath in that way,
oh,
like
Interesting.
being able to intuitively use it for his own purpose, but not necessarily for the good of the greater, because that's
But I don't know if he says the right thing, but I don't know if it's
authentic.
I don't know if it's like he feels like it's like he almost feels like it's a soul connection too, which makes it more confusing. And I don't know if he's just saying it to confuse her because he knows she's married.
Okay,
It
right.
just it's just yeah, they've only been married since June.
so
So
I'm
it just I
already
would want
pissed
to
off.
save it. I just want
Very
to
hard.
save it.
That's very,
Um,
yeah, no, save your marriage. Like that would be my like,
But what if she can't? stop. Like, I just know because we've had conversations and it's like, it's so compelling. It feels like an obsession.
Yeah.
And it would
I
be like for her.
I
That makes
would
sense.
love to meet him and talk to him, and she can listen to my conversation with him when I
You
do a
want to
read.
cross overseas?
Yep.
Okay.
If she was able to put him in front of me and I get to see his eyes, he will get the reading of his lifetime, and I will put him in his place, because that's how much it is. It's a sacrifice of giving up somebody that actually loves you to the unknown, where he can confess his love to you. But when you've not even held his hand,
Yeah.
kissed him, looked at him,
Yeah.
smelt him, maybe he doesn't shower, but all of those things are not, he is lying through his teeth. And when I
Because
tell
but when I always say to her, like, you'll always be number two. Like,
Mhm.
you'll never be number one.
beautiful,
Even if you move there, you'll always be number two.
And I would say too, as a reminder, like, I don't know how long they've been together before, the couple, Andrea and
7 years.
so 7 years, that's like, oh, well, 7 years is like 7-year itch. Like there's 7-year cycles in relationships. So it does come up for review, but it is a really, beautiful opportunity to like like it can feel itchy at that point. It can feel like you want to break out, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it's the right thing
I
to
don't
do.
know if she's on the chat, but if somebody's commenting on that,
I'm
I can
looking through
send
a
you
little
her
bit.
real name and you can see if she's on.
Um,
Yeah.
Well, and interesting. Do you want me to go through while we do that, or if there's any other comments, we can read them in a second. But do you want to go through the houses of this eclipse? Because it
Sure.
is really interesting that these themes come up, especially during the eclipse season. And if you know your rising sign, you can follow along. Let me pull this up. So
Yep.
these are just kind of basic, right? You have to know your natal chart, but let's start with Aries rising. It's Libra's in the 7th house. So this is the house of relationships and partnerships. So very curious to see if this Andrea is an Aries rising. This eclipse may bring significant changes in partnerships, both personal and professional. It can trigger new relationships, the deepening or ending of existing ones, or a shift in dynamics with important relationships. Taurus risings, Libra in the 6th house. So this is about health, work, and daily routines. So it's more of a focus on, work environment, daily habits, your health. It may inspire a new approach to wellness, how you handle tasks, and it could be a good time to establish like better routines for your work-life balance. And then we have Gemini risings, and that's Libra in the 5th. So this is all about creativity, romance, and children. This eclipse may spark a new creative project, romance, or changing your approach to pleasure and fun. So this is like focusing on more playful activities. So that can be really actually fun with this eclipse. Cancer rising, which happens to be Linda and I.
yes.
Libra in the 4th house. And that's about family, home and family. So changes related to home life, family dynamics, living situations are likely. So it could be anything to do with like your core family or previous, like your, ancestry, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Leo rising, Libra's in the 3rd. So this is house of communications, siblings, and local environment. So you can expect shifts in how you communicate, your relationships with siblings or with your immediate surroundings. So it's like a new learning opportunities. And
I'm just
evaluation.
going to add to that one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to feel very, very guilty in all of this.
Why?
That sign, because they will not feel like they've been released from that energy. Even though it is a release, they're not going to get that release, and that's going to drag on right through until next September. Sorry, that is going to be hard on them. Sorry, I remember this one because I dealt with it a couple of days.
I think you should, any Libra risings, I think you should just earmuff that. That's like, Virgo rising, Libra's in the 2nd house. So this is a house of finances, values, and self-worth. Not an easy place for it to be, but it can bring new financial opportunities or prompt you to reassess your income and spending habits. It's a time to reflect on what you value the most, both materially and personally, but financial goals. And then Libra rising, which is Jim.
Yes.
This is a big one for you, Jim, because it's the house of self-identity and personal goals. So significant personal transformations. And this is great because the first 15 days, very ripe, and then it goes into a 6-month chapter, right? It opens up something. So,
go ahead,
oh,
continue.
no,
Please.
I'm sorry. You're going to talk more about this, but I just want to say that you can see a lot of shift of how you perceive yourself.
That's great.
100%. And the idea behind that is we have done our due diligence. We as Libras have repaired or replaced what we did to other people in so many different ways. And what's happening now is I've paid for my dues. I've been responsible. I know what my job is. I have friendships. I have acquaintances. And now the karma that I hold on to, I don't have to feel guilty about saying my piece. And no Libra in Libra with this eclipse can do anything to us. But those days, and I'm only going half of your days. It said what, 15 or 10 days, I think, of zip it up and don't say a word, Libras, to anyone.
I don't think anybody should say a word. That's my comment.
The key. Yeah.
Where the key? Yeah.
And zip it. Like go play golf or something. Or if you don't like golf, go curling or just go for a walk. But don't like find the zip it emoji and use it because it's only going to get you in a lot of trouble. Sorry. That is karmic.
Okay. I love that. I love that add-on, especially as a Libra rising. So we'll move on to Scorpio, the lovely Scorpio risings.
All right. Oscar's one of those.
As is my boyfriend. And this is Libra in the 12th house. So this is the house of the subconscious, solitude, and spirituality. So 12th house is not the easiest place also. This eclipse can push you towards deep inner work, spirituality. It can actually be a really beautiful place too. So it's addressing any kind of hidden aspects. So it's a great place, great time to like clear out old thoughts or old belief systems that are no longer serving you.
Because they don't belong to them any longer. That's what I like. And when you're saying it doesn't serve them any longer, it truly doesn't. And the ones that hang on to it, you're not moving forward. You're not. You're going to stay there. Then you're going to get mad at the intuitives and the everybody else saying, "Oh, well, you said this is what is supposed to happen," and it won't if you don't move forward. Be nice, Scorpios.
Sagittarius rising. This is Libra in the 11th house. So this is a house of friendships, groups, and aspirations. So the focus is more on social life, community, and long-term goals. So there can be some changes in your network of friends, your involvement with groups, your hopes and dreams. You may meet new people. So here, pay attention who comes in your life and out of your life during eclipse season, especially for Sagittarius risings. And then Capricorn rising, Libra in the 10th house. So career, public life, and reputation. So this is kind of changes in anything to do with your career. Any opportunities professionally, there might be a time of shift. Maybe you're starting a new job or you're ending a cycle. Maybe you're retiring, that kind of stuff. Anything to add, Jim, before I move on to Aquarius risings?
Political side of them. That will clean everything up. People will be caught in their own traps, their own lies, their own. Oh, it's just going to be great to see, actually. Sorry.
It's been great to see. Okay, Aquarius rising. This is Libra in the 9th. So that's the house of higher learning, travel, philosophy. It's really about a lot of spirituality too. So this can inspire even you just go back to school, rethink your belief system. It can bring travel opportunities too. So that's cool. And then, yeah.
So can you repeat that last part? Because I heard it, but I didn't. The very last sentence.
Yeah, it could bring opportunities for travel or personal growth.
So I'm going away from the travel because most of us can't afford to. I'm being blunt. Most families right now are going from paycheck to paycheck. So make it about themselves, make it about relationship, and smooth that over, and then go on vacation. That's all I needed to add to that one. Sorry.
But the Aquarius rising is like, screw that, Jim. I want to go to the beach.
Yeah, that's true.
I know.
I think that somebody's commenting, and I wish that you could address it.
Okay, can we just finish with Pisces?
Yeah,
Last one,
sorry.
last but not least.
Sorry. I'm like, I
No.
wasn't paying attention only because I
No,
don't
Yeah, we have
understand
just
what
one
you're
more. Poor Pisces is always last. 12th, it's the 12th
Sorry
sign.
about that.
So Libra in the eighth house. Libra in the eighth house. So this is the house of shared resources, transformation, intimacy. It's not an, also like, you know, it's a very deep, like, it's a deeper place. So it can affect your joint resources with your partner, intimate relationships, lots of transformational opportunities here. And poor Pisces, like they just go through it sometimes, but it can be really good too. So deeper emotional connections, it's a powerful time for healing. The key word is transformation, I would say there.
and the intuitive Pisces on that accord,
Right.
they have to actually take 2 minutes before they say what they're reading, because there's going to be another comment that will come up from their spiritual guides. Wait until they complete a sentence and let that energy go. I've been telling Pisces that forever, because Pisces and the intuitive Pisces scare the shit out of me, because, and then they say 5 minutes later, well, maybe it doesn't happen always that way. Sorry, I needed to add that in there.
You just want to inject it in there, right, Jim? So we're back to the chat, and yes,
Sorry.
we did have a comment, and this is actually Andrea.
Mhm.
Says it's all resonating, and I'm hearing the same comments from many intuitives, but there is a supernatural connection that I can't explain. I
Absolutely
understand what
not.
everyone is saying about the player aspect. Yeah, that's really hard. It's very
not
hard on
easy.
everybody. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go there with Andrea. This is your own self-esteem issue. Now, that is something that needs to be discussed with a professional. And we are not professionals at this point, but there definitely has to come out, because there is no draw to that. This is a game, and a good game.
It's a good game.
And you just have to be aware. If you're hearing it from other intuitives, we're not saying it just to say it. We're saying it because we are concerned for your well-being, because you will lose everything. And when I say everything, it is everything.
That's what I'm
I
afraid
feel
of.
so much anxiety, and I almost feel like there's already like, you know, it feels like that feeling, like I always get that betrayal knife in the back feeling when I feel this way. It's like there's been some damage already. And I think the key is not to let the damage go further, right? That's why there's a time.
But what happens in a good question here, if she never, like, I think the fear is she's never going to feel the same way about her husband. What happens then? Like, is it, everything can be repaired, but it's just so frightening to think that you'll never feel that way again. You know, it's like that, just like crack, you know, it's like so addictive. It's intoxicating, and the person just like she can't not have it. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's all encompassing. It's all day, every day, you know?
Totally. And that's also that dopamine high. Like I have to say,
Yeah.
from a biochemical standpoint, like when you have that rush of feeling, your body's taken over. That's why they call it, like, it's a dopamine, no, it's oxytocin. Is that the love drug? Oxytocin, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's like you literally can't focus on anything. It consumes your whole body. And that's a dangerous place to be in, because you can't make logical decisions,
Totally.
right?
Agreed.
Hard, very hard.
He
So
wants to destroy her life, like his life, because that's what he gets off on, is ruining people's lives.
but he will have no consequences,
That's right.
and Andrea will have all the consequences.
He'll play the game. He'll play the game forever.
Mhm.
And people like that need to be called out. And maybe this moon, this sun eclipse will be able to, hey, liar, liar, pants on fire. You're done, brother. You know, we don't need people like that in our lives.
No.
There is no karmic connection to this man on any level. He knows how to play. He is a chameleon. End of story on that. And that's what I'm getting from Louise.
I'm really curious what Andrea's rising sign is. So if you do want to comment, because I'm just so curious, you know, if this is a new chapter, what the cycle looks like in that framework of what we just shared.
I think I sent it to you earlier. But how would you find that out, with birth time?
She would have to know her rising sign, and she could just
Okay.
comment on it.
Okay.
So we have a couple more comments if you want me just to read those.
We
Sure.
do have someone in the room.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
And I want to just say something, people. We are 35 minutes in. We're 25 minutes left, kids.
Let's get
This
you
is
in.
amazing. I mean, we've not stopped, and I've been listening and looking at the time, and then here we are. So we got 25 minutes, guys. So if you're in the chat and you have things to say, put it out there and we'll answer as best as we can. We're going to have Mark shortly on here. I don't know anything about Mark, but I'm looking forward to it.
Mark is a great guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I just
Natalie said she's a Virgo rising. Sorry, I'm sorry, Jim, but Natalie said she's a Virgo rising. So, and it's making sense, but I'm still deep in it, so it's difficult. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very hard.
We'll pray for you, my friends. We'll
Yes.
pray for you.
He stutters too a little bit. So, because he can't think of what to say. Okay. I want to say hi to Sarah Rush because she put it out there and at the beginning of the show, and I wasn't able to say hi to her. And I want to say hi to everybody out there, obviously, but Sarah put that out right away, and I wanted to make sure that I just say hello. All right. What else do we have here?
Do you have a comment, Miranda, you wanted to read?
Yeah, and I just want to say to Andrea, because of your Virgo rising, this is more to do about your own self-worth. So he, if this man is making you feel a sense of worthiness because of that extreme connection, then that's what you should actually go deeper into, because it is in your second house. There are a couple more comments would be, there's so many. You guys are awesome tonight.
That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah. So Elaine is a Libra rising too. Okay, there you go. Oscar says, this has been my permanent address for 2 years. And why am I cleaning out the physical and mental closets?
Well, there's a lot of balance that Scorpios needed over the last few years. And it was to reinvent yourselves. Some of us went through COVID, we went through closure, we went through divorce, we went through separation, and none of it was anything that was positive. Now the step up towards your birthday, everything switches. You get through the next 10 days, and by the 20th, you're going to start talking to yourself as well, going, I've got this. I'm an independent. I'm going to be this person. I'm going to be that person. You're going to lock in on all the positive outlooks for Scorpio this year. And that goes for Miranda as well.
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments, Jim.
I know.
I'll have to watch the episode later.
We'll
I'll have
talk
to watch
later.
it back later. So he's ignoring. Charlie says serendipity has been the theme for the last week or so. Great topic. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that happen during eclipse season to really pay attention to. And then Joan says so there's a lot of comments about this. So there's other people chiming in. Dougie says, I get the impression that this is not his first rodeo. Joan says, if he wins her over and she gives up her marriage, I suspect he'll be done with her in a year. He'll move on to the next.
Joan's intuitive.
True story.
Or move on to the next challenge. So this does happen a lot, right? When it's like the challenge, it's the chase. And that
like a supply in a narcissistic world. It's called a supply.
Supply. Yeah. And they'll do anything for that supply. So they'll say all the right things, like you said.
And ask Andrea to put in some moonstone into her heart chakra or wear something like that on her.
You can get a ring. I have a moonstone ring by Blue Light.
Beautiful.
So clear that in the next new moon and get that and make sure that it touches the skin, because that crystal actually works for women and for their emotional state in so many different ways. And they can bring their thoughts to the surface and deal with each one collectively and give you the right answers. That's what it does for you. So I would be getting that moonstone.
Nice.
Shall we move on to our first?
Mark?
Yeah, to Mark.
First off, I want to say, Paula, thank you again today for producing this show and getting all our shit together. So thank you very much.
No problem. I love putting shit together.
Thank you, Paula.
But it's Linda, actually, that's waiting to come in.
Linda.
But Linda is Mark's wife.
Yes.
So we'll see if Linda or Mark shows up, or maybe they're both together.
Was it fun?
And they can both come in if they want.
Okay. I'm going to bring somebody in.
And it's dark. Oh, while we're waiting
I went to school with Mark and Linda. Actually, Linda's like a sister to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is the week of Halloween. This is the week that many intuitives get very, very busy. And they book you for little Halloween parties, and you watch all your people get tipsy and then get into a lot of questions. So that's going to be kind of crazy.
Cool. Hi, Mark.
Hi,
Hello.
Mark.
Mark, welcome.
Hi there.
I hope you get abused as much as I do during this whole ordeal, okay? Pick on me nonstop here. What's your birthday, Mark?
December the 8th, 1977.
He was like, I don't want to say
I was
that.
waiting. I was going to say, don't tell me, but it's okay.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm smiling because Miranda's going to punch me out later. So, very cool on the Sagittarius side. Very unique personality. You're endearing. You care a lot about what people feel and think. You get very stressed when things aren't working out for them. And when I say them, that's everybody in your circle. And you certainly do forget about yourself quite often.
Hmm.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question, Mark?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Are you in a path now to have another opportunity in business for yourself?
I'm not currently looking at that at this moment. I'm enjoying employment for somebody right now, and I'm sort of happy where that is at the moment.
Okay, because after 2025, you have to make some ideas as to using your creative genius and put that all together and work within groups. You need to educate some people somehow or have a very strong sort of, let me help you here, like consulting, almost in a medical way for me, because your past life was that of a doctor. So I pick up a lot of different things about you.
Really? Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's something I have always sort of wondered about.
So I get like you've been like anxious, like up and down. Your emotions have been up and down. Did you had a loss?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a male?
Yes.
Okay. How long has it been? Sorry for your loss. Is it your father? Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long has it been since your father passed?
Just over a year.
Oh, God bless. I'm sorry for your loss. What was his name?
Marcel.
Okay.
Beautiful
He's
man.
did he like to dress nicely?
Yes.
Because he's all dressed up. Like he's got a suit on and he looks really spiffy. There's not any lint on this man. Like he is
No.
totally, but he's so proud of you. He says it's like you keep saying like it's gonna make me cry. He goes, you just say it's just not the same. It's just not the same without my dad here. And he's behind you all the time. Like I can see him standing behind you right now. Now, did he have glasses as well?
Yeah. Yes. And then we discovered later, I think not that long ago, that he was wearing glasses he didn't need. There was some sort of healing of his eyes at some point.
It's funny because it's funny he wore them a lot, but I don't think
Yeah.
he ever needed them. But he's now did he always give you money?
He has helped.
Because if he could give you all the money, like he would try to give you more. Like he's trying to give you money right now, and he's like this. Like he's funny. He's funny. He's doing that. But he was like, did he do a lot of he seems like he didn't get to do all the things he wanted to do. He did a lot of things where he never completed things. Does that make sense?
He was he was a mover and a shaker.
Yeah.
He was project after project all his life, either through his vocation, through his job, or through the other work he did in the community. He got buildings built. He had.
He's saying time, like I guess that's the
He
was so
was
busy.
never there.
There was
Yeah.
not enough time. Like he wishes he had more time to spend with his family. But he was like the consummate provider, right? Like he had to
Oh,
do.
sure.
So it's like he wishes if he could change things that he could be here with you. Now, did he have a black mug? Like a mug for coffee? Did he like coffee?
Yes, he did.
He's-
He drank his coffee black.
Yeah.
I don't remember a specific mug that he gravitated towards. It was
That is
never.
black coffee because he has coffee like it is black, like it's black, like it's
Yeah.
coffee. But he liked his stuff. But he's like, I think you had a very good relationship, and I don't think there's anything left unsaid.
No,
Um,
I felt
One small thing.
good about.
Yeah, like it feels like everything was said. And if you had stuff to talk to him, you can say it to him anytime because he can hear you,
I
right?
do sometimes. I
God
talk to him
bless.
when I'm driving.
Good. Because he said like you get into like pissy when you're in the stop and go traffic. He said you get pissy, so you're talking to him like whatever you get all yeah, she shows me, but he's always with you.
uh,
Hey, Mark,
yeah,
your dad says he never liked you taking his socks.
taking his socks.
Yes. I don't know. Did you take his socks as a kid when you had to go to school or something if you ran out or
If that happened, that's too far back for me to remember.
oh, okay. So he's going on and he's going to make sure that he puts holes in your socks to embarrass you every once in a while when it's important.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's going to be his calling card with you.
Do you have one of his jackets?
Yes.
Yeah, because he says you have his jacket in the closet and you keep it and it's pressed just the way he would have it.
Yes.
Like it's sitting on the hanger perfect.
It is. My mother brought me a suit that was his. I'm not sure why. I think she knew I have a few things that they're just objects, and I know the person isn't in the object, but I still hold them.
Oh, hang on a second here.
Yeah, right.
Don't ever say that to psychic, okay?
But the
There's-
essence of him is in that, like even, sometimes you think about things that are sentimental, like they touched that. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? They had that on their body. So the
Yeah.
energy is there, right? So it's nice to
Sure.
have those mementos, right?
I must really do believe that because because of the things that I've kept, like a toque, the suit.
But your mom, is she push you to do things?
I would say there was always a gentle push, but never
Yeah,
never
because your
anything.
your dad said she never changed. She's still doing the same stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's
she's
still as
still.
active, right? Like she still is active in what she normally would do before, right? Is that
Oh.
Yeah, she's really, and we discussed this. She's really feeling blessed to have the community of the block where they live
Yeah.
in Charlotte Lake, and her community at the little theater group. She's in a play again this fall, and she's getting out, and she still goes to the church, and which they did together, obviously.
Did they live on the lake?
Yeah.
There's the tree to the right side of the property, right by the water, right?
There's lots of trees. I'm not sure which one exactly.
But was there like a bigger tree that used to be like, he's showing me a big tree by the water. It's somewhere where he liked to go, or it was hard to cut the grass around?
Yeah. I wonder if that might be the old house.
Okay.
Because that one, the old house is the one that I grew up in, and
That's what he's
one
talking
was
about.
right on the lake. Yeah.
That's the one. It's right on the lake. He loved it there. What a beautiful memories. You had such a beautiful home life. Like, bless your heart. Like, that's beautiful.
I dream about the house.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because it's like it's part of everything for you and your life. All safety and happy times. And your mom's a good cook too.
Yes, she
Your
is.
dad says she's a really good cook.
Yes.
She makes the dishes in the Pyrex, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's like, I don't know if they get to eat up there, but they sure do talk about food a lot. And he's talking about your mom's casserole. You know, the one with the bread on top?
Yes.
That's the best. And I can taste it. It's good.
There's several for
But
sure. Yeah, that's funny.
nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Awesome. That is good. I feel that's going to be something else. Your grandfather also this is on your mom's side.
Okay.
And he's saying a great big hello. And why don't I get all the attention? Because he has this comic relief about him. But he always wants you to stay in the forefront and always love yourself and trust yourself the way that your mother showed you. So that makes a lot of sense to me because you treat everybody with such respect and you hold your voice and you don't, it's not that you want to create controversy. You just let them be. And if they're going to be ornery, that's the word he used, they can go on their way. And you have that persona from that man.
That's
Did
my
he have a nickname for Miranda?
pardon.
Did your
Oh,
dad
yeah.
have a nickname for Miranda?
My dad? No, I don't think my dad had a nickname for Miranda.
But you know what he would always do though, whenever I saw him,
What was that?
he just like, I don't know, like he had this, so Marcel had this like beautiful, like light up a room, right? His smile, it was just so genuine. And like every time I saw him, he'd like, I can just see his face right now. So every time he always made an effort to come over to me and like, you know, it was so much, it was so authentic always in the moment, so genuine.
He's fond of you. He's very fond of you. He's like, that's a good friend. Like he's
A
he's
lovely,
proud
lovely
that you
man.
guys are friends still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
We both love Pearl Jam. So we also.
Oh, I see. Eddie better.
Oh, see, I got the same hat.
My best.
I saw you with it at the concert, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
when
yeah,
I said
yeah.
I got to get the same hat. too."
We went to the same concert and then we both ended up with COVID. You had COVID right after that concert too?
Right after the concert.
Not good. Anyway, that's a separate subject. Yes, Marcel, like such the whole community of Charlotte Lake genuinely loved Marcel. Like it, you know, he just made such a big impact on everybody. And yeah, he's very, very missed. I think everybody misses him, right?
As
Obviously.
long as people are alive that knew him, they'll be talking about him. And he's pretty proud of that. Some people
Yes.
come in and make zero impact. Your dad's impact was very large. And that's something to be proud of because
It
he's
is.
a lovely man, but he's kind to the core, your father. Kind
I
to the
know.
core.
His I got to hear his last words.
Wow.
Amazing.
And we emboldened it. It's on his tombstone, and it says, "Be kind to each other."
God bless. Well, yeah, that's a truer words from a man.
Absolutely.
I think when he said them to me, I think he knew that it was our last time talking.
They do.
Yeah.
Mark. You know, they do in so many different ways. I got to hear my mom's stuff as well, so I understand where that comes from. And they want to make sure that they give us that message because they want us not to lose faith or hope. They want you to know that they'll always be around. And that's a big part of the energy. You can see the force field around you by your family. And it goes directly into the sign of infinity, directly to your wife.
Yeah.
Directly.
That's beautiful.
Was your dad, I just have one more thing. Was he a funny guy? Because I feel like he had a very good sense of humor.
He loved to laugh. He would make great jokes and he would make terrible jokes too, but we would always laugh together,
Because
always.
he's talking about his tombstone and he's like, he goes, I'm not in there. He's not in there. He's not in the ground. He's with you. He just goes, I'm not in there.
That does sound like something he would say, something frank and obvious, you know?
It was like he had a childlike innocence, even no matter like how old was he when he passed, Mark? He was
90.
90.
Well, he doesn't come across as 90.
No, he was just so
Holy
childlike
moly.
in his ways. Like, but in such a great way, like in such a beautiful way of the childlike kind of wonder still, right?
Wow.
Yeah, you could still see curiosity in his eyes, you know, when you just conversations were sometimes very long, but they were always the greatest. I recorded us having a conversation a couple of years ago, and I sometimes throw it on and listen to it. It was
Oh, that's nice to have.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, very nice.
Mark.
He is around you. You're very blessed and very well taken care of. Your mom is protected by so many elders as well, just to let you know.
yes.
And it's almost like they're horseshoed around her so she can always move forward. So within her community, everyone sees her, but she's very well protected. And
That's wonderful.
she has such love for her family, for the people around her. So that's beautiful. That really is, Mark.
It's amazing to hear you say something that I've always just felt so confirmed in just in a natural energy kind of way.
Mark's mom was my fourth grade teacher. I guess so she supplied a lot. So she used to teach origami. And I still feel like she just imprinted origami into my spirit because like such a creative and like she's also just such a beautiful woman.
She leaves a trail of cranes everywhere she goes.
Yeah, she legit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
That's
finally learned how to
amazing.
make them myself.
Cute.
And now I was like, I can't go any longer without being able to do this, like,
Because you're going to be doing it forever too now.
yes.
You're gonna leave them everywhere
I
too.
know.
Have to.
And
It's a legacy.
That's
And
so funny.
Mark, for the next 10 days, you also have to zip it. I know you will, but don't say too much controversy to people.
Okay.
I know you're a nice person, all of that stuff, but as soon as you feel that unrest and that uneasiness,
Yeah.
turn around and walk away, because it'll mean nothing to you at the end of the day, because it's all their energy being thrown on you because you're such an empath.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah. 100%. And
Yeah.
these are your energy vampires that are just borrowing some of your energy that you need to keep for yourself. And you need to think about that. Wow, that was your grandpa too.
Yeah.
Like
Grandpa.
he did the table bang for me. So I like that.
He did?
Yeah.
Can I just one more thing? Do
Yeah.
you wear work boots?
Yes.
So your left work boot, this is the stupidest stuff that I see, but your left work boot, it hurts. You need a new one, or there's something wrong. Just gotta watch it the next few days. You gotta watch your left foot.
I have a weakened left ankle because I have twisted it very badly in the past several times.
So just be careful.
Get a
That's
new
my
work
weak
boot
side.
then. I mean,
Yeah.
you need 2 work boots, and don't just get a left one.
I'll get a right
Get
one
some
too.
air,
How about that?
Mark.
Yeah. All right.
Invest in
It's
the
worn
air.
down, and I feel like when you wear them, if that was your only tool that you needed every day, make sure you invest upon it.
I love
I
watching
will,
Miranda
thank you.
listen to some of this. That's awesome.
I love that Linda gets those nuggets. It's like, your left work boot. It needs replacing.
Okay, listen, we've only got 3 minutes of the show left. Is
Okay.
there anything that you need to ask us, Mark, or because you said you had no questions? Is there anything now?
I don't know how to ask questions about things like the future, because I feel like I'm just gonna try to trust that it'll unfold as it's supposed to.
It
But
will.
But I
They're
literally went blank there. I honestly didn't have anything to ask. I don't know. What can you tell me about me that I should know?
I feel like a lump sum of money is coming. If you're waiting for a payment or somebody's owes you some money, a lump sum's coming soon. It's something you've been waiting for. It's annoying, but it's coming.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
That's a good thing. That's good.
And all your electronic devices are fine. And if anybody's telling you something different, it's not. It's just that they need to be reprogrammed on some weird level. I don't know why I had to say that, but
Okay.
I think you're going to have to reset everything. That's all.
Okay. I do have a tool that needs recalibrating.
There you are.
And your
Also,
dad's just talking about your watch. Do you set it a couple minutes fast or a couple minutes behind?
I don't know. It's this is the watch I'm wearing is it's the last thing that he gave me.
So that's what he's talking about. Is it run a little slow?
What time is it now?
It's 8:29.
no, 9:29.
Oh,
Nine.
sorry. Yeah.
It's saying 9:32.
It's a little fast or a little slow. He's like, fix it.
Okay.
Because you'd be late.
or just reminding me that I'm often late. Is that maybe?
Linda's on fire. I just wanted to comment on your dad Kila shirt.
Oh, thank you. This
Yeah,
was
sweet.
I just
this,
saw that.
this
That's
was a
cool.
gift from my kids for my birthday, I think, last year.
That's nice.
Love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you for this experience. This was my first
welcome.
time having a reading of any kind.
Oh wow, Mark, for real?
For real, I've never done this before. I didn't know what to expect at all.
That's
Wow.
so brave of you to come on live with us.
Yes.
High
Thank
fives
you.
over to you, my friend.
That's very nice. Well, thank you, Mark.
Thank
was
you
a
so much for
pleasure,
coming
And
on.
I hope
That
we
was
meet
amazing.
again.
Thank you.
Thank
Both.
you.
Say hi to the fam.
Will do. Take care.
Bye.
Bye now. Guys, we're going to have to sign off pretty soon here,
Wow.
And
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
beautiful.
fun.
it was fun,
Yeah.
wasn't it? I was watching your eyes, and it's kind of like you were so excited for a minute. So beautiful.
Because I'm like, my hometown, like Mark's in my
Yeah.
home. And and I know Marcel and, his family, I know Mark's brothers, and like, it just, yeah. And you feel those connections, those messages are so important from our loved ones, and to be able to tap into the specifics like that and see that is so great for me to witness. That was so great. Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Paula once again for doing everything so well. We can't do this show without you. I also want to thank Jill for doing those posters for us. One day I'm going to have to learn how to do that on my own. Everybody, that eclipse tomorrow from my psychic interpretation is just zip it up for a few days. Don't worry about the big stuff anymore, because the big stuff is going away. Think about the little small things that you're forgetting about to do for yourselves. Don't make it about anyone else for the next 10 days. Make it about you. It'll be fine. And if you can't be, reach out to us and we'll help you.
I would also add to it that just be slow and listen to your body, because you're probably going to be more tired, and create more space so that whatever the eclipse needs to do for you in your life, you can actually open up opportunity. So the slower you go, the more decompress, drink, hydrate, water is very important during an eclipse. So salt bath or sauna or whatever you can do, take care of yourself that way.
My screen is going.
It's so weird. You're all fuzzy, Jim.
Blurry.
That's
Blurry.
like energy though. That's a lot of energy. That was kind of weird. And it's still blurry.
Yeah, you just went kind of clear and now you're gone again.
Yeah, it's been like that for the last 5-10 minutes or so.
That's how I feel with very little sleep sometimes. You know what I mean?
Fuzzy. The world looks a little fuzzy, according to
Shut her
Jim.
down, Jim. Shut it down.
We have another thing. We had 37 people on tonight. We have a lot of regulars, and I want to thank the regulars for this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And throughout the next, we are on every Tuesday, guys. We're not, and we haven't missed a Tuesday. 3 Tuesdays in a row.
Knock on wood, Jim. Like, don't say stuff like that.
We all
The recipe for disaster.
Right?
You just gave me shit, and the whole window just decided to blow. Like, damn it.
Damn it.
We love you guys. We love everything that you do for us and join us and help us. For me, don't forget to vote for me for this show, because it's someone keeps on pushing me into second place. I'm getting pissed off at them now, you know. But thank you all. This was great. Linda, as always, you're so knowledgeable and so calm when you deal with us. It's
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Lovely Miranda, as always. She makes sure that we're safe. We didn't do enough tarot today, but you certainly had a lot of information to give us today.
You know what? We shake it up every week, or at least we try. So next week we'll go back to a little bit of more organ, talk a bit, we're talking the liver next week. So
we are going to try and put up the topics that we're going to talk to. We have meetings now, everybody. We really do.
We actually talk together.
What the show's going to be about. So that's something new. We've matured. So I just want to say good night to everyone. Thank you again for coming on. We do love all of you. So thank you so much, everyone. And any closing words from Linda and Miranda? That's all yours.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, and thank you so much for your comments. A lot of people have said that it was such a beautiful experience to watch Mark's reading as well. So it's so great to share in that with everyone.
And we need Linda's info.
InfiniteReikiHealing.com.
And then we have to get a hold of you, Miranda. How do we do that?
It's superbodywisdom.com. Go to my website, or you can follow me on Instagram at Miranda Melisani.
That's a beauty. And Jim Hunt Official everywhere. And we love you guys. We thank you. And just have a great one. I love Libras. Oh, and go to my special Libras. You're getting 30 minutes for a $20. What is it? No, $100 for 30 minutes because you're a Libra. What more can we ask for? Take care, everybody. Thanks, Paula.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Take care. Hang on, I got to do that. What? Stop.